It's not a great team this season, but any given Tuesday, just like they say. Cavs Hornets tonight, 7 o'clock on WMMS. 6:30 is your pregame coverage. Cavs live here on the Buzzard. And then the Cavs are back home for a few nights. Play the Sixers tomorrow night and the Wizards, Michael Jordan and the Washington Bullets on Friday night. Who do the Wizards have now? John Wall?
No, John Wall is, I believe.
I know we've gone over this, and
he was on the Clippers and then got traded and cut. I think he's on the Rockets again or something.
I know that I should know because you've told me. You've told me until you're blue in the face who plays for the Wizards.
I don't know if he's actually on a roster right now.
Kristaps Porzingis.
No.
He got dealt too, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know who the Wizards have. Kyle Kuzma? Who do the Wizards have?
Kyle Kuzma, yeah. They got Bradley Beal.
All right.
And
well, there you go. All right. That's when the Cavs come home. We will be right around the corner from here. We're not hauling ass from Independence anymore. We're walking through our building and then heading around the corner on Friday. MMS is going to be at the Clevelander all day, starting at 10 o'clock. So I hope you can come out and hang with us. We're all going to be there. We're all going to be there. I'm going to be there. Bill's going to be there. We're all going to be there.
All two of you.
Hey, I think Corey Roddick's going to be there. I don't know who's coming from the morning show. And don't even get me started on the kid we got in the back.
The kid.
Because he's... You'll always be a kid to me.
Acting like a child.
No, you'll always be a little kid to me. You know, I give the audience a hard time because they infantilize Poundcake. I've chastised them on more than one occasion because when I give Poundcake a hard time, I'm the dick. And it's because they think of him as a child. Of course, he's not, but none of us are above that. You know, I'm to blame for that too. You know, I call him our little Poundcake or our, you know,
hey,
because...
kid.
Well, because I call a lot of people kid, but I mean, because I think of him that way too. And so that's partially my fault. No, I don't call people dicks when they give him a hard time. But I've been called way worse than that. So anyway, I don't know if Poundcake will be there. Fortunately, no one's asked me. So I haven't had to lie.
No one's asked.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying nobody's asked. I'm not saying nobody cares. I'm saying no one's asked.
Okay.
So if they care, they're keeping it real quiet. Alan Poundcake can order a Crunch Wrap without sour cream or without whatever. Yeah, he does. That's the point.
But it's still called a Crunch Wrap Supreme.
Right. Yeah. He has to get it without the stuff he doesn't
want. I make
want.
it a point to say a Crunch Wrap Supreme combo with no sour cream and no tomato. If they just had a Crunch Wrap, I would get the sour cream and tomato on.
I wonder why they don't do that. Is a Crunch Wrap fundamentally supposed to be something amazing with all this goop on it?
The only thing, they never released it as that. When it came out in like 2010, or maybe even before that, it was like, this is the Crunch Wrap Supreme. It was never like the taco where it had different versions or anything. It's always only ever been the Crunch Wrap Supreme.
You know what? Had they done that, it probably would have been a bigger hit. But it stayed
It's a huge hit.
Is it?
It's like the biggest thing on the menu.
I feel like I'm always the outlier because I'm the only one that ends up getting it. Like out of my group of friends, if we have a car full of people, someone's getting like a quesadilla or someone's getting like a bunch of like chalupas, but they don't get the Crunch Wrap Supreme. I'm always the only one. Since
it came out, it's never come off the menu.
Correct.
You know? And they go through stuff like that all the time.
I was just, I'm sorry, a little bit distracted. I didn't get the whole of that conversation there. You know, when Mary came into the show today, she had her coat on, and I've repositioned my monitors so that we don't see each other. Bill can't see me, I don't see. That's always been the case, though. I can't see Mary, she can't see me, so that we can react to each other as spontaneously as we would. We can experience this fellowship as the audience does. Mm-hmm. So when I looked over to your camera, Bill, I didn't realize how juggy Mary was today.
Oh, I got the boobies out. They're out today, for sure.
I just saw that for the first time.
Areola.
Not on
That's
purpose.
because of the Cleveland Comedy Awards.
Yes,
tonight.
I wore my
Areola.
dress.
What do you mean not on purpose?
Well, I will say
Very
this.
much on purpose.
No, not on purpose in that
And your camera's pointing down.
Well, I'm short. So, I mean, there's still space above my head.
No, I understand.
Areola.
This dress fits much, much more tightly than it did 2 years ago. So I haven't worn it in a minute. And when I went to go zip it up today, it kind of gave us a little extra nudge, and that's where we are.
Oh, you getting? Are you trying to say that you're putting on a couple lbs?
I've already been
And you're
open
getting-
with the fact that I've put on lbs.
Well, not to the point where you're having a hard time zipping dresses up.
Well, I haven't worn this dress since, you know, the last time I wore this was for a Final Friday during COVID.
Okay.
So
when
it's
we
been
were-
3 years.
We were talking about going to the mall. She was saying that
I had to
we got
buy
into
all
that
new
whole thing. She had to buy
pants.
new pants and stuff.
At
I do remember.
Torrid.
I do remember that,
The
but
torrid thing, yeah.
but also,
Just watching these live stream numbers go up.
Oh, are
as
they?
we mentioned.
Should I
Yeah.
keep picking them up? Because that
I mean-
seems to be a popular thing when I.
are they?
Yeah.
Are they? So, it is a double-edged sword because you kind of get extra jubbly when you gain some weight, right? But then,
Yes.
yeah.
Well, I'm not that worried about it, to be honest with you.
Why would you be?
I'm trying to do
You
this
trying to get Brian to break up
thing.
with you?
No, I'm not trying to get Brian to break up with me. But I am trying to accept my body wherever it's at because in the past I've been obsessed with weighing a certain number or having abs or having a butt or having this. I know. So I'm just trying to accept
Don't
the
let
fact.
Poundcake hear you say that. He's working his ass
I know
off.
he is, and he
Mary
should be.
Lizzo Santora.
You can call me Lizzo Santora
Wow.
all you
I'm
want.
kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Mary was my motivation to get skinny, so I can't even talk crap to her.
And I know that I will find that I've just been so crazy busy for like the last, no joke, 6 months. And that's an excuse. You can always find time to work out. What is it? Orange Theory has classes starting as early as 5 a.m., I think I heard.
Ooh, yes,
on the
they
last
do.
one.
Let you know.
Probably sit around and cook some soups and eat bread and desserts and just get all fat and sassy.
But in the last time I wore this was summer of 2020 when I was my fittest. I was only like 125 pounds, and I'm right around 140 now. So in the last 3 years, I've put on like 15 pounds.
All right.
But yeah, we're trying to do the self-love thing. And it's like
Do it.
when summer comes, my schedule slows down a lot so I can focus more on like cooking at home. I'm only home 2 days a week right now.
The self-love is tied directly to the physical form, is the point?
No, the self-love is just accepting where you're at in your life. The way that I view it. This is what my body looks like. This is the way my career is right now. I'm very busy. I'm traveling. I'm staying in hotels. Like,
It's the not beating yourself up
right.
over
Just
it.
kind of
See, that's where I'm
accepting
the most comfortable.
beating yourself up.
over it.
Well, I am too. I mean, I was a cheerleader. They used to, what are those things, those metal things where they pinch the back of your arm?
Calipers.
Yes, they used to do that to us because we
Yeah,
had
like
to.
like you were trying to get a job at a club in Vegas.
Right. Well, we had to weigh a
Cocktail
certain
waitress.
amount and look a certain way to be in a little baby two-piece.
Well, yeah, that's because you have
know?
people picking you up and
I
throwing
know.
you around.
I know,
Yeah.
but what I'm saying is that very negatively affected self-image for me.
Understood.
So over the last 20 years, more so in like the last 2 or 3, I've been trying to deprogram
Gotcha.
that. And I still have negative reactions sometimes when I'm told I shop at a plus-size store and it comes out. But I'm trying my best. So when I zipped up the dress this morning and my boobs got a little extra,
Jubbly. Yeah.
we accepted that and went with it. But I did still have to clean off my car this morning, so I am wearing winter snow boots with them. I don't know if you can see that. I'm putting it on the screen.
We
for you.
accept the extra juggage
Yes.
and go on with our day.
You're welcome.
It's what we do. All right. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
But I was not, obviously, trying to direct people to live stream. I was just speaking extemporaneously as I looked over and noticed.
Saw some breasts.
I saw, well, cleavage. Still haven't seen breasts. I'll tell you what, this Ashley Graham, boy, she is a mistress of changing the narrative. I played her talking to Hugh Grant on the red carpet at the Oscars, and it was a lose-lose for both of them. But he took the brunt of the criticism because everybody's like, Hugh Grant's being a dick. You know, why is he there? Whatever. Hugh Grant just was answering the question she was asking. She was not asking great questions. Who are you excited to see? Who are you wearing? Not her fault. That's what they put people out there. I think that those were probably better questions for a female star to come through rather than Hugh Grant. But Ashley Graham, genius, posts a big old nude photo on her Instagram. I mean that figuratively and whatever. Big hand bra, big etro bag in front of her bits. Good for her. She's accepting her body as it is, too. It's made her a lot of money.
I don't think I know who this person is.
Yeah, you do. They made a big deal about the fact that Ashley Graham wasn't 98 pounds, and she was still on the cover of Sports Illustrated. Mind you, you haven't seen anybody else who looks like her on the cover of Sports Illustrated anytime soon.
Oh.
So she kind of...
Here's what's upsetting, though, is that she's not like, yes, she's plus size, but she's, what's the word I'm looking for? Where that she makes sense. She's
Zoftig, Rubenesque.
No, like she's curvy.
Proportionate.
Yeah, she has a heavy chest
But
and
she's
then
a big gal.
tiny waist.
She's
Yeah,
definitely
she's
a plus-size gal.
definitely a plus-size gal, but she's not all belly. You know what I mean?
Well, I can't
She got
tell because
hips
she's
and
got...
boobs and-
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
she's hourglass
she's
shaped.
got stuff in front of her, so I don't, But again, just surface respect for changing the narrative a day after the Hugh Grant thing. Hey, everybody. How you like me now? Pretty good. Hey, if you listen on iHeartRadio, you can always leave us messages there. A little talkback button for your perusal.
Hey, so I'm a podcast listener, and my moment has finally come where Mary said boy, and Alan was so confused when she meant male or a young man. She said boy. Alan, you use the term girl interchangeably with a young woman in her late teens or in her 20s. You always call them girls, but what you mean to say is young woman. So do better. Love you. Bye.
I don't know what the hell she's talking about.
She got you, dude.
How are you going to tell? How dare you tell me? How dare you tell me what I mean to say? I mean to say girls.
She got you.
Young woman. You're not a young woman till you can do my taxes. You're a girl.
Mm-hmm.
What you mean to say? How dare you?
You can't interchange
How
one.
dare you? I don't even know what she's talking about with you and me.
Yesterday I said something. He's a boy. I think I was talking about Brian's friend at work. Because you were making a...
Yeah,
you
sure.
were
Oh, yeah,
talking-
he works with a
and
young
I
boy.
Said no, I didn't say a young boy. I said
No, I
his
did.
friend at work.
Yeah. I
And-
said he's friends with a boy?
No, you were mentioning him having a work girlfriend. And I was like, well, his best friend Ray is a boy. And you're like, he's a boy or a male?
How dare
Yeah.
you tell me what I'll tell you what I mean. I say what I mean. I mean what I say. Call y'all girls. Well, you get the point.
Wet seal. Wow.
That's how old that bit is. But, yeah, congrats, Ashley Graham.
Good for her.
Speaking of girls, Lauren Boebert. Boy, this Lauren Boebert, people are having a field day with this woman. You know who Lauren Boebert is?
She's the
crazy hot.
the Congress girl
Emphasis on
from
crazy Congress girl.
See, I don't
From
know that
Colorado.
yes, that's right. The Congress girl, the representative, the Colorado.
That's about to be a grandma, I believe.
She will be a 36-year-old grandmother, which is exactly what she made her own mother when she was a teen mom with no dad around. And she made a big show about the fact that her 17-year-old son has knocked his girlfriend up. She neglected to say how old the girlfriend was. All she said was, she's over 14.
Oh, boy.
Which
And I
makes
guess
her 15, I believe, correct?
Yeah, it's been reported that the girl is almost 16 years old. The baby's due in a few weeks. It's wild, boy. Lauren Boebert, the 3rd congressional district there, is basically kind of like the western half of Colorado. So it's not Denver, Breckenridge, that kind of stuff. It's that rural conservative
It's the
part of
flat part.
Colorado. Well, it's a lot of mountains, but it's very rural, right? Which is how adult like her gets in there. Poundcake called her crazy hot. I don't know if she's crazy hot, but she's pretty cute.
Well, crazy.
But she's a
comma,
dope.
hot.
I mean,
Crazy
that's
comma hot makes
crazy
sense.
/ hot.
I was gonna say crazy and hot, but yeah, crazy hot.
And people are giving her a really hard time, but it's like, look, it's you can't harp on the kid because
It's gonna be kids.
well, no, his look at his parents. His dad's a sex offender. That's public knowledge that Lauren Boebert's husband whipped it out in front of some kids or something.
But is that
20 years
kid's
ago.
dad?
I think so. Yeah,
I don't know if that is.
I thought it was. They have 3 kids.
Okay.
The son's the oldest. And she makes Sarah Palin look like Stephen Hawking, so that's not a great environment for making smart decisions. But she's like, well, we value life out here, which is utter nonsense. But I don't know if forcing teens to have kids is a good idea. I know a lot of those right-wingers think that that's the case, but it usually means the girl ends her education, which I know they love.
I don't know, man. I've
But
seen.
and by the way, the Boeberts can afford something like this. A lot of people can't, right? So she's thinks it's great that her son is going to make her a 36-year-old grandmother. I guess it remains to be seen.
I mean, I will say I have seen some young parents and things go wrong, but I've also seen some young parents and it go really right. Like there was a couple in
Now, what was the difference?
I don't know. I really don't know because the couple was in my high school, and they were dating all through high school. The girl got pregnant, I think, her junior year, gave birth her senior year. And they're both kind of the same age, like both 16, 17. And their kid is very well behaved. They both have good jobs. They both continued their education. Maybe they have parental help. I guess that's the only thing
You'd have to. Again, listen, it's not. No one's saying it can't be done. But when on the one hand you go, this is great and we value life, but as soon as a kid is born, these are the kind of people who want nothing to do. And I'm talking about outside the family, other people, other families who might not have the means to take care of a kid. It's just an unquestioned good in this family that, hey, I made my mom a 36-year-old grandmother. I was a teen mom, not a teen bride, teen mom. I don't know. So maybe her husband isn't that kid's dad. But
I think I looked it up. I think he is.
Okay.
But,
well, anyway, it's a wild, wild story, and people are just going in. So, I don't know. People like her, there are people like her in South Carolina, and in that state, there's a lot of people who think that women who want to get abortions should be executed. Because I guess I've never heard of irony. But that's kind of the frequency at which these people are kind of having these conversations. I also don't know why none of her colleagues are screaming groomer at her. Why is no one screaming groomer at her? Her son knocked up a 15-year-old kid. And you can get into the math there, which you will have to do. They go, what's the age of consent? But it's always within a couple years, right? You're not in trouble if it's within a couple years. Age of consent in Colorado is probably 16 or 17. If the girl's 15, But these are the kind of people who want to kill sex education in schools. Because if you're educated, you might not make those kinds of decisions, and they don't want that. So I think it's very, very strange that no one is screaming groomer at her. Because these are the kind of people who scream it at everyone else. But her son, it's like Sarah Palin. Her daughter, they sent her daughter out to do like abstinence programs or something, and she couldn't stop cranking out kids.
Didn't her baby dad end up doing like Playgirl?
I don't know about that.
I remember his name was Levi, and it was like a big thing.
Levi.
Yeah, his name was Levi, and he had they had their reality show, and part of the plot for the reality show was talking about how busted her baby daddy was. Like, he's gonna do Playgirl, and now my kids have to grow up and see their dad all over.
Yeah, awesome decision making. Well, anyway, pretty wild. I got a break. I'll have WWE Raw tickets for you. They're coming back from Monday Night Raw to the Romo Fijo. If you want to go, I'll get you set up on the way back here. 35192 if you want to text, and we'll be back.
Show. On our free iHeartRadio app and your favorite smart device.